Okay. Got it. What was I gonna say? Oh, okay. So just like you go to transaction desk, you'll start a transaction and you'll pull up the form for the listing agreement and you'll write it out. We'll go through that really quick. I'll go ahead and improve.
Oh, so this doesn't have to be tethered to an actual property address.
Well, it does, but it doesn't have to be tethered to a listing yet, a listing ID and
Okay.
MLS, because it's not listed yet, because that's your
Okay.
job.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do is start that process. So,
Okay.
all right, so I'm in your transaction desk now,
Okay.
like where you usually write offers and stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna create a new transaction. What's the address?
12309 Rip Rap.
RIP.
RAP, one word.
Okay.
Cove. Uh-huh.
Okay, it's gonna be a residential listing. I am gonna import, what county is it in? Is it in Travis County?
I don't know. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. That's a good question.
It probably,
It is. Are you Travis County? Yeah, Travis County.
there it is. Okay, so you can look up the address right there, a little search, and then click create. Then you're, oh, it says add me as you're the listing agent.
Mm-hmm.
So it starts walking you through this wizard. You know, it automatically puts in all the property information, like the legal description, stuff like that, which is helpful. Go to next. You don't need to enter any transaction dates.
Okay.
Contacts, you're going to be in here as the listing agent, but this is where you'll add your clients. So
Okay.
they will be sellers. What's
Okay.
their name?
Stephen Jones. And it's Stephen A. Jones. Hold on. This is Stephen A. Jones 3 at gmail.com.
Okay. Is there another seller?
Yeah, Kim Kennemer, Kennemer,
Kim, what's her last name?
Kennemer.
Okay.
And her address is Kim D. Kennemer at Gmail.
Kim D or G?
D as in dog.
Kennemer at Gmail?
Gmail. Uh-huh.
Okay, and if these email addresses are wrong, you can go ahead and change them because I'm
Okay.
doing all this in your transaction desk.
Okay.
So you have you as the listing broker and the sellers in here. And then so forms. The form we would need to fill out is the right to sell. Type that in and you get it. Here we go. Residential real estate listing agreement, exclusive right to sell. It's this one right here. And so we'll select that and we'll add it to our cart. I like to go ahead and do the IABS right here too, unless you have one already, but
Okay.
that way you can just get them to sign it
Perfect.
all at once.
Okay.
Information about, there we go, listing side. So stick that in there too. Click next. You're not gonna have any documents. Click done. So then it puts all those forms in there. We can come into this form and start filling it out.
They sent me their survey already. Can I put that in?
Yeah, but you don't, yeah, you can. It doesn't necessarily have to be in here. You'll send it to Errol to put in transaction desk
Okay.
or Transactify.
Okay.
But see, it automatically populates all this stuff in there, who the sellers are, who the broker is, which it's going to say Spyglass Realty, and then the property information. And then exclusions, this is where they can come in and add anything that's excluded. Again, that's not totally crucial to your listing. You'll want to make sure that that's disclosed on their seller's disclosure, but
Right.
you know, doesn't really make much of a difference to the listing for you. Owner, is it in an
It is,
HOA?
yes.
Yes or no?
Mhm.
It is.
Yes.
Okay. Listing begins on, you probably want it to start like now. And
Okay.
I'd have it last at least like 4 months right now.
Okay.
So maybe take it through the end of January.
Okay.
And you can talk to them about this date and revise this if y'all agreed on something else. This is where you put total commission. This includes the buyer's agent's commission and yours.
6%.
The
Okay.
total commission, this would normally be 6%. If
Okay.
you negotiate some type of discount, this goes down, obviously.
Gotcha.
Or whatever. The next part that you have to fill out, this is if they're going to be reimbursing you for things, which that's not usually the case here. The protection period, we usually put 30 days. This protects you for people that have seen the property during the time that you had it listed. County, we're obviously getting paid in Travis County. Okay, the listing services. What I usually select is the broker will file it in the MLS, and that we're gonna do it. I usually select B. Seller instructs broker not to file until TBD. And then I come in here and after date of this listing begins for the following purposes. And I usually put like listing prep. This just gives you, this means like we're gonna list it when we're ready, basically.
Got it. Okay.
When we're done getting it ready. Don't check that. That's if you're not gonna put it in, if they're not gonna let you put it in the MLS. Come on down to scheduling companies. You're not gonna probably use a scheduling company, so I wouldn't worry about that. Key box, broker is gonna be authorized to use the key box. Okay, cooperation percentages that you're gonna pay. I usually, you're gonna pay 3% to a buyer's agent. I usually put 0% for subs because you're, adding it all together. Non-MLS brokers, I usually put 1.
Okay.
And then 0 for the subs. But this kind of covers you if like you had some like commercial agent come in and want to represent themselves or their grandma or whoever, or an out-of-state broker or an out-of-town broker, somebody that's licensed in Texas, but they're a member of the board in Fort Worth and they don't have access to the key box, and you're gonna have to open it for the inspector and do all that. You might not. It doesn't obligate you to, if you came to an agreement to pay them more or less or something, you could, but this just kind of limits you as to what you're obligated to pay that cooperating broker.
Okay.
If they are not members of the MLS, basically. They're members of the MLS and you're entering, 3% into, the Austin MLS, that's what those brokers that are members and find it there are going to get paid. Intermediary status, always check that. That means other Spyglass agents can sell the house. Don't worry about these. This is if they don't want their address to be displayed on the internet, which is a bad idea. So we don't want to check those boxes. Authorized financing options. Honestly, in Manor, it's probably going to be all of them, but I usually just check these first 4. Obviously, they can sell it to whoever they want with whatever type of financing. But checking those 4 usually covers your bases. You're usually good here. There's probably not much that they need to add unless they've told you that they've got liens or
They don't.
any type of, things that they're going to have to pay off other than mortgages.
Okay.
Or if they're a part of a relocation package, which doesn't sound like they are. That's for special provisions. We don't really probably need that. This talks about all the, we're going to have a seller's disclosure. Maybe asking them if they're, gonna want to ask them if they're in a mud, all that kind of stuff. If they probably don't have a septic, they're probably on, municipal sewer and all that kind of stuff. Then come down here, it asks if the broker is a foreign person. You're going to click is not a foreign person. And that's it. You're going to sign it right. You're going to click broker's associate signature, and then as an authorized agent of broker, that's you. And you're going to sign that there. And then they are going to sign here and here.
Okay,
So since they're assigned already in transaction desk, it'll automatically fill in all the spots,
okay,
just like they do for the buyers. So
Mhm.
you can come up here and click save and exit, and
okay,
that's all filled out. So what I
Beautiful.
would do is send this to them, you know,
Okay.
come into transaction desk, download it as a PDF, send it to them, and, you know, maybe say, hey, or if you guys have already talked about the terms of the listing agreement, if you've already discussed that and agreed on like timing and percentage and all that, you can just send it to them electronically to sign, whatever you
Yeah.
decide to do.
Yeah,
But
I
that's
think
how
I'll do
you
that.
fill it out. And
Beautiful.
it's in here in your transaction desk, ready to go
Okay.
now.
Perfect. And then
That's the
once I
first
get that, I
thing.
send that to Errol.
Yes, once it's signed, send it to Errol and tell her you're ready to start the listing coordination process.
Okay.
The next thing you need to do, tell me, are they going to be living in the property?
They are, and they
Okay.
want to list it next Thursday. Want to get
Okay,
some
that's it.
pictures done
Okay.
before then, get the listing probably live next Thursday, and they are going to be at ACL the following weekend. So I'll hold 2 open houses, Saturday and Sunday, while they are not there. And then go from, but they do have a dog.
What's the house like? Is it like a shithole or?
No, it's nice. I told her about your design service. And it quite honestly doesn't really need it. They've lived in the house for 3 years. It's brand new. It doesn't look like it's been lived in at all. It's not staged, but their furniture is nice. And
Do you want me to do a quick staging consult with them?
I asked her, I offered it to her, but she doesn't want to do it. And I
Okay.
really don't think it's necessary.
That's fine.
Um,
So yeah, what you can do is just send it on to Errol. Ask when you send it to Errol, tell her the timeline. Say, we need pictures ordered right away. Because if you want to list it on Thursday, you need to have the pictures done Wednesday at the latest,
Okay.
preferably Tuesday.
Okay.
And Errol can book those photos, but don't do that until you get this signed.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so Errol's going to do the,
Mhm.
she's
And
gonna
she's
arrange
gonna get a
everything?
sign delivered for you in a lockbox. And
Really?
all that stuff. Yep.
I don't have to do anything?
Not that stuff.
This is
We're gonna
unbelievable.
handle all that for you. Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah. So we'll do all that. And
And then she's going to be sending, I've already, when I talked to Johnny, he told me to send out that email and to let the sellers know that Errol will be also contacting them, and some of the information will be redundant. We just want to be thorough and make sure that we're not leaving any stones unturned.
a couple of conversations that I think you need to have with them are set up kind of a timeline. Say, okay, if we're having pictures done on Wednesday, that means if you're going to have a cleaner come, if you're going to have the yard guy come, if you're going to do any of that, it needs to be, this needs to happen on Tuesday. This needs to happen on, kind of try and help them map that out, whether it's just you telling them what to do, if they're those kind of people, or if they want to be, more involved or whatever. And then also having the conversation with them about how I know you said they're going to ACL, but like how they want to handle showings. Do they want to do like, it sounds like if they're going to ACL anyways, that like open showing blocks might be, easy. Like, I'm sure you're used to seeing like go on Friday, Saturday, Sunday from 10 to 5 or,
Right.
something like that, at least for the first weekend. And then you can always come into MLS and change it on Sunday if you still don't have offers and you need to. That's what I did last weekend. I had one list. I had like all these open showing blocks. I don't have any offers yet. So I just went in Sunday and was like, call the owners to schedule an appointment during the week. Cause then your showings usually slow down.
Okay. So I can go in there and change it myself on the
Of
MLS?
course.
Okay.
Yeah. Or Errol can do it if you tell her what the instructions are, or
Okay.
But yeah,
Okay,
you can,
great.
she'll enter it. She'll enter it into MLS. She'll do all that. But, and she'll send them all the disclosure documents to get signed. If you have the survey, that's great.